actually had a tape thrust on my desk from Noel Juggins, who was the recruiting officer. He said, look, I think I've got a fantastic young player that we really could get. He would be fantastic for our club. And his name was Wanganeen. And I like to write things in my diary. I've got 30 years in my diaries. And I wrote Wanganeen. What a great name. Because I'm a dreamer. And I don't mind sharing that with you because I think there's nothing wrong with that. When I grew up as a kid, you know, it was in the 50s and early 60s, and there's a guy in the room tonight called Barassi. And I thought, gee, what an unusual name. Yes. One of the great legends of the game's come to see and be with Gavin, his testimonial, thanks to Barney McCusker and the boys from Mount Gambier. But look, what a great name. Wanganeen, Geronimo, Barassi, you know. It appealed to me, you know. To be able to select him in a draft choice 12, you wonder who the other 11 were.
Yeah, Kevin Sheedy, he was really good for me, and I remember rocking up and being a young fella. She'd seemed very strong, a very strong person, and at training he was always trying to get the guys to, I wouldn't say beat each other up, but he liked the aggressive side of the game.
Run in and get the ball yourself, that one. Don't be a robot, okay? Ball sitting there and you're waiting for it. You wouldn't do that in a game.
That was a little bit daunting at the beginning because I was a little 17-year-old kid, hadn't developed too much muscle yet, and but no, it was good. I had a great time on the Sheeds, and yeah, great 6 years there.
Got to be heard in front of 50,000 people. I can hear you 10 yards away. Oh, let's get the thought right. Got to help your teammate between the ears.
My first game was at the MCG, and it was a very much different MCG back then because I think half the grandstand was down, or they were building the Great Southern Stand back then. So yeah, it was a great experience. I remember my first possession. I think I do anyway. I think it was a mark, or it might have been a free kick, and I went back and I had my kick and I hit Mark Harvey on the chest. So I can remember that. That was great. But yeah, it was one that obviously you always remember your first game. This is probably could be the I don't know the key to my career. I think it was a pretty important move. It was my second year. Well, start of my second year in the AFL, and I've been playing as a half forward flanker, occasional on baller. Sheeds just felt that the half-back flankers were roughing me up a bit, and I wasn't mature enough to handle that. So he said, well, have a go at playing down at the back pocket.
I remember when we actually put him in the back pocket. He said, where is it? I said, it's the same position you're playing, but in the next quarter. I thought about that. After 30 seconds, he's laughed. I would have thought 10 maybe, but 30 was pretty slow.
I made my way down to the back pocket, found my opponent, and I think the runner said, yeah, just follow him around and just if he gets the ball, just tackle him. So, because being a young fella, every young boy come up playing footy should be good tacklers because they're quick and they're into it. And so I did that, followed around and started laying a few tackles, and it just all rolled on from there. It was a master move by Sheeds, I must admit, because looking back on it, who knows whether I would have played 300 games of football if I played as a half forward flanker or even on baller. I mean, as you know, on ball, playing on the ball is a very demanding position. They do an awful lot of running work and in the action all the time. So who knows how long I would have played if I was stuck in the forward flank.
Beautiful conditions here at the MCG. Clear blue sky after some torrential rain during the week. Ola Renshaw. Handball wide for Long. Backs himself. Oh, yes! Essendon, brilliant football.
Michael Long took me under his wing a bit and spent a bit of time with him. I remember watching him in 1989, just some of the magic stuff he did on the MCG. I think it was